Inspection microscopes are expensive. What if I told you that there is a $250 equivalent, which can furthermore be used to create videos and photos and can even be used for a live demo? This is the LM210S, and I was recently sent a sample by LinkMicro, and in the following steps I will quickly play around with it, and after that I will give you my impressions. So here we have the box. So let's start to cut inside of it, slowly but surely. Oh, this is nice. Here, first thing, we find a manual which shows us the thing, how it will look when it's assembled. Then here we have the actual screen, and below it we have this foam thing here. The power supply is a more or less stock USB. I like this a lot because it means you can use other power supplies. And then here we've got all the remaining things. Some kind of light box. A specimen of some kind of medical materials. Some kind of cleaning cloth. Some basic mechanic assembly thingy bobs. A remote control. Be careful, this can fall out easily. Some kind of card reader thingy. And then below it we've got even more cables. And we've got this foot here, which has got these little lamps. As for the cables, an HDMI cable. Then we've got this multi thingy bob cable. We've got an angled USB-C cable. And finally we've got this stand here. And with this, the main box is empty. When we look at the back, we've got here an HDMI out, the USB cable, which we will discuss shortly, and a card reader, which in my case came preloaded with a 64 GB memory card. And this memory here in the back, you can use it as a offline storage when you're working with the camera, so that the recorded material can be reused later. When it comes to assembling the microscope, the first act is we've got here at the bottom this kind of screw, which screws in here. So we open this, put it here, and then we hope that it fits as it should. Well, now it fits, because we've got this locking ring here to lock it down. And then the next step is the actual microscope unit. This guy here. What is important is we see here, this is the actual microscope camera at the back. And this is a flexible screen. So what will happen is this thing goes into this thing here. And ideally, of course, we will be using this thing to make sure that it doesn't get scratched. And I do have to compliment this a lot. You see here, there are rubber tips at the back of the screws to reduce the impact of the screw. So, the actual assembly, you open this fully, you put it inside, and then, when it's in a good position, you close it with these two things. And you should be careful, you shouldn't go crazy. Don't push it too strong or you will damage it. So, perfectly down like this, lock, lock, and then it should more or less be held in position. And yes, this here at the back, you can use it to modify up and down the position of the optical plate. Next up is this cable bush here, which has the power for the ambient light, the data connection, and very important, this brightness modulator here. And then we do what we have to do. This is the power. This is the data. And this here then goes into the provided power supply. So this is then the whole construction which we can plug in and see what happens. So here we have the thing ready to be plugged in. In we plug it and we see the two bottom lights start up immediately. Whereas the control computer only wakes up after a special invitation. And then I have been preparing something here. Just like on a Vision Mantis, you can put the sample and the sharpness you determine by turning this at the bottom. So on the Vision Mantis you go up and down. Here you have to turn this like you see so to get the focus point right. And then what is neat? There is here, as you see, an option which allows you to zoom in and out. I will show you this again from a little closer up. Now I am zooming out and now I am zooming in. And there is also a photo button, of course, at the bottom, which you can use to record a photo. It shows you this here. And then when you go into the M, when you push the M button, normally it should show you a list of the photos which you have on the system. Yes, here it is. And as you see here, when I'm moving my hand, the camera reacts very, very quickly. So from this point of view, I am already pretty happy with the product. And now to the brightness here at the bottom. It says caution hot, but it doesn't heat up in my test in the laboratory. And this is the switch for powering on and off these magnification lamps. And if they are on, as you see here, you can regulate the brightness. And what's important, this thing is completely independent from the main control computer. You see the control computer's LED is off, but I can still switch the LEDs on and off. And if I'm funny, I can also power on the control computer. Let me try. Yes, now I've got the control computer powered on. Now I switch it off. Okay. Nope. So these are not independent. The lights cannot be switched off when you want to use the rest of the microscope. While the HDMI output is not surprising, this thing is pretty fascinating. This is a cable which replaces the power connection with a USB 3 cable. And then it is intended to allow you to connect the camera to your PC, either as a mass storage device or as a live viewing camera. One more very interesting aspect is this menu here. For this to become active, you need an USB 3 plug on a computer, such as here on my IBM ThinkPad, and you plug into that. It didn't work with the phone, and then the camera wakes up, and you can select here between mass storage and between PC camera mode. And if you go into PC camera mode, then something interesting happens. We see here in LS USB that there is now an additional device which is called Novatec Microelectronics Demo. And this is actually a camera. So if I now start Cheese, which is the camera application here, then I see it goes by default for the ThinkPad's integrated camera. And no, this is not able to recognize it, but they claim that it works with Windows and with Mac OS, and that's already pretty good. This has been a little live action demo of the thing. First things first, it is not a stereo microscope. So if you need stereo vision, or you work with it for a very, very long time, you should also look at the stereo microscope. But on the other hand, this thing is incredibly light, less than 2 kilograms. It packs up into a box this small, and you can connect it to a PC or to a big TV to collect the video material. And this is just so much convenience. For example, the next time if I go somewhere to teach some engineering, I will take this thing, just connect it to a beamer and show the people live the soldering which I'm doing. And of course also for a few macro documentation photos, it is just ideal. In short, if this, what I've been describing you, is similar to what you need, then this product most definitely deserves a recommendation. On the other hand, if you currently have a Vision Mantis, don't see it as a replacement. See it as added value. It ties into your classic Vision Mantis, and then the two together are more than the single item. With that, I thank you very much and see you soon. Bye bye.